Hello again and welcome back to another one, and today we have much more on the series of Benzino getting exposed on multiple occasions, as we have more proof that totally goes against his street persona. And while he was getting exposed, Royce reacted and got into a heated debate after the user moved the goalpost, and we'll get to this in a moment. Today we also have more from hip-hop media personality DJ Akademiks, who recently shared his thoughts on the Benzino vs Eminem beef, and spoiler alert, AK isn't buying this from Benzino.
For 22 years, every time I do an interview, they ask me about Eminem. Nah, man. Ooh, we're failing as a people. Ooh.
As he believes Benzino is trying to blame hip-hop for problems that he instigated on his own. Problems he literally manifested with his own actions, and we'll get to this in a bit, as to be fair, AK was spitting, and we'll get to this later. So starting with Benzino, thanks to his beef with games manager Wack 100, we already found out a couple of things about Benzino. For instance, Wack 100 already shared an interview that we already covered of Benzino getting exposed by his girlfriend, an interview that confirms what Eminem rapped about on Doomsday Part 2, linked to the Red Roof Inn incident. We also got one from Wack 100 of Benzino talking to the police with enthusiasm, and we'll get to more that caught Royce's attention when Wack 100 dropped another one with the caption, "All y'all calling me after you heard the first ratting video telling me Benzino is real. Well, he's different. He is a thorough rat. He's confirming the other possible leads, laughing emoji. Please don't question what I do. The streets is a myth. Boston, we don't blame y'all for this." And just a reminder, before we play the clip, remember Benzino doesn't miss an opportunity to brag about how much of a street dude he is. Even on Drink Champs, he was bragging about being ignorant and street.
I ran through 20 million in 3 years. Doing amazing. Benzino lost. I spent it. I didn't lose nothing. I spent it. And I gave it away to all my people. And I brought all my with me. The fuck can a nigga tell me? I'm a street nigga. I graduated because of my mother.
And Wack 100 dropped this to continue exposing Benzino as a fraud.
Hey, I'm gonna end the interview right now, and if I have something to follow up on, I may follow up on. And otherwise, again, thank you very much, Raymond. I appreciate it.
They caught him. He's locked up.
Yes.
Did they caught the gun with him?
I don't know that. I know that they have him in custody.
They probably stashed the gun.
There were other people in that car?
I'm not sure, but there was people all around him.
Okay.
So it was real easy for him to give one of them the fucking gun.
Okay. Thank you, Raymond. I appreciate it.
And Royce reacted with, "Man ain't nothing to be throwing lead at. He'll make sure his nephew get thrown in the pokey and then sleep like a baby so he can wake up tomorrow and go to the only place that he believes he would crack an egg." The white boy comment section shake my head. And while Benzino got clips that have been leaked of him crying and begging after the cops were called on him for reportedly beating up a black woman.
Don't do this. Stop. No. I'll tell them no. I'll tell them not to. I'll tell them no, okay? Just stop.
We still got responses like this to Royce. Royce just an Eminem coattail rider. What's your comment on him disrespecting black women on those tapes? Silent. And Royce reacted, "You want me to address something from over 20 years ago? Why want to hear my thoughts on that if I'm a coattail rider? What's your thoughts on Post Malone leaked audio? Justin Bieber, never mind. You don't care about any of them because none of these tapes affected you. It sucks to hear the ish, but we got bigger problems in our community than name calling. And your man ain't took one step to elevate black women since the source's inception. He hasn't even elevated his child to a higher regard, and she's a whole superstar. He a drug addict with serious mental health issues who's not fit to lead anyone anywhere. Now go sit your bum down somewhere and stop addressing men you don't know on social media. And if you know him personally, get him the help he needs before you end up at his funeral." And while she was questioning Royce, we literally have clips of Benzino on YouTube getting busted for domestic violence, leaked audio posted by Wack 100 of the same. These people are worried about tapes that are 35 plus years old. tapes that have been addressed over 2 decades ago. And since Eminem is the elected president of the United States and also elected president of the black community in the United States, the user hit back with, "I'm not a fan of Post Malone or Justin Bieber, so since I post about Eminem, I have to mention the other culture vultures. What has Eminem ever did to elevate the black community in any way? I'll wait." Laughing emoji. As a matter of fact, I know personally he has done a lot for black community in Boston. He has done a lot to stop gang violence, etc. Plus, his relationship with his daughter is none of social media business. We have no idea what goes on behind closed doors. But again, what has M done for the black community, Detroit community? At least are Proof's children and family taken care of. Plus, I don't care if it was 1,000 years ago. Laughing emoji. Do we forget about slavery? Hell no. And Royce had the time. He reacted with, "Well, I'm a chief executive to the MM Foundation, so I can answer that. My job is to make sure funds are disseminated to the right places and in the right amount. Ever since the pandemic, there's a fund in place that is set aside specifically for black and brown issues in underserved communities. Starting in Detroit, I've already spearheaded a mental health initiative. Dollar amounts are M's and higher. And yes, you do have to mention Post Malone and others. Fun fact, every single lyrical rapper got a record deal in Detroit after M blew up. Everybody. Name another white rapper with multiple bros around him who are all touching 7 or more figures, and when you realize there are none, maybe you'll address them and tell Zeno to stop saying Interscope put black people around him. That's ridiculous. And I don't know Proof's widow personally, so I couldn't tell you her financial situation. That's their business. Shrugs emoji. We are at a point where Benzino could go on the street and start knocking out every black woman in the vicinity, and people will ask, but, are you gonna address Eminem dissing black women 35 years ago? These people don't care about black women. It is a bad faith argument because they hate Eminem. And moving on to the next point, during the Drink Champs interview, remember Benzino gave us a classic when he broke down in tears due to his beef with Eminem and then tried to blame it on the community.
Nah, man. Ooh, we're failing as a people. Ooh.
We? We.
And according to AK, this isn't a "we are failing as a people" issue for Benzino, but more of a personal issue that shows that his actions over the decades have consequences.
Yo, Benzino, the beef with you and Eminem is one-sided. Eminem don't give 2 fucks about you, whether you're living, breathing, talking, nothing. You have a daughter that's actually thriving, and we're gonna say, she's a relevant hip-hop star. Here's the thing, I think you're going through issues that you probably created over time. Your relationship with your daughter that she's spoken about, your demeanor in hip hop, how you probably even treated women themselves, and also how people view you in terms of your peers. You're seeing it all manifest because your daughter's in this game. And you even said yourself, your daughter feels like she got to be cool with Eminem because you hated Eminem, and because you hated Eminem, it prevented a lot of opportunities for you. I have to say to Benzino, I think the problems you have are not hip-hop problems. They're problems that are family problems. Eminem is not talking about you now. Eminem doesn't have a beef with you now. Most of these things are the reflection of your daughter being a star. So you need to fix your family problems first and foremost.
And AK also pointed out how while Haley is proud of her dad, the same can't be said about Coi Leray. We've covered stories of Coi being embarrassed to be Benzino's daughter, and AK believes Benzino needs to address these family issues rather than blame Eminem and the hip-hop community. And some have reacted with takes like, Charlemagne and Akademiks siding with Eminem tells you all you need to know about Benzino. I'll be looking forward to your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching and see you on the next one.